He plays the back door. He plays over top. That's the thing about smart players. Sometimes you think in those moments that, okay, I know exactly what he's thinking. You think he's going to play over top, but that's where the instincts that you mentioned earlier, bro, where they just kick in. And sometimes he just has a feeling.
What did yesterday tell you about the Cowboys?
It didn't tell me anything I already knew.
Oh, really?
I thought the Cowboys.
Last week you were conceding.
Whoa,
I don't know.
No. I conceded the division.
Oh, okay.
But that's because everybody else in the division was stinking it up.
Oh.
Now, first of all, why do you continue to interrupt me, Skip Bayless?
Gotta get you back on track.
I was on track.
All right, go.
So, okay, I'm reclaiming 15 seconds. Thank you.
Okay.
Skip, I always thought they were being overvalued. Now, are the Cowboys a good team? Yes, but they were putting the Cowboys in the Super Bowl because Jerry was trumpeting he was being a drum major, like he should be, being the owner. Oh, we different cats. Really? Are you a different cat? Now, I just, help me understand, Skip. The best running back in football, he's leading the league in rushing.
He was really good yesterday.
The hottest receiver in football over the last 6 weeks.
He was
the
pretty
best young quarterback, and you got shut out. Now, on Friday, you was telling me how good is Andrew Luck if he went to Jacksonville and scored 0 points.
That is a good question.
So now maybe
that was just 2 weeks ago. He got shut out in Jacksonville. Jacksonville lost to Josh Johnson yesterday.
Hold on.
I'm asking you, the Hall of
So
Famer.
how good are the Cowboys that got shut out after winning 5 straight games? How good are the Cowboys? It's my turn. Thank you. What I love this coach.
Did he not ask a question?
Yeah, it was rhetorical. That didn't mean you give a response. But anyway, I love. Did the Colts kind of look like the old Cowboys, the young Cowboys used to look? What they've done instead of Ryan Grigson, who's the former general manager, Skip, he got all these fancy new toys. He wanted to sign Andre Johnson. He wanted to sign Frank Gore.
He did.
He wanted all the, we're going to go up and down the field. He wanted to be the old Indianapolis Colts with Peyton Manning and Marvin and Reggie Wayne and Dallas Clark throwing the ball all over the field. Well, this general manager said, you know what, this is how we're going to do this. Starting at the center going left, first rounder, Alabama, Ryan Kelly. Quentin Rush, now Skip, I know he's a rookie, but he might be the best guard in football. Costanza, left tackle, first rounder. The right, Turner, Braden Smith, excuse me.
Yeah.
Did he pitch a shutout or what? Did DeMarcus Lawrence Taylor, did he play yesterday, Skip? Because he was doing all that whooping.
If only Dak Prescott had that offensive line. Can you imagine what he could do with that line?
You see?
Seriously. No, really, you're making my case. I like that.
I'm talking now.
Keep going.
I'm talking now.
Yeah.
It's my turn.
Yeah. Whew,
Thank
what
you.
an offensive
Thank
line
you.
he's got.
This is what I've been saying all along. The Cowboys, and they would listen to me, because I say, Coach, we got to get up to a fast start, because what the Cowboys like to do, they like to pitch a shutout in the first quarter. They get the lead, and then they make you play on their turn. They throw when they want to. They run when they want to.
Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report, because without you guys, this literally does not work. It is Monday night, so you know we are here talking about the Dallas Cowboys. I got to tell you, I'm learning how to use my equipment better and things like that. You know, we did the live stream yesterday. Unfortunately, it wasn't as much fun as I'd hoped. We had it all set up because I wanted to get the fans involved with the game, because for me, doing the Joe Boo Sports Report is near and dear to my heart because I love the fans. Shout out to my man. I'm sorry, you know I'm a name butcher. You know I suck at names. But shout out to my man and his girlfriend who drove all the way from Richmond, Virginia up to Kingstown. That's about a 2-hour drive just to hang out with us. Shout out to the lady who came out from Haymarket, Virginia. Haymarket there, an hour drive away. Shout out to my man Bo. And Bo, I talked to my brother-in-law, my cousin. He definitely needs you to go ahead and build that pad for that garage and stuff down there. So I'll give you a call on that one. But I wanted to capture the Dallas Cowboys winning the NFC East. That place was packed. It was one of those things where Marcus Patton, who's a former Washington Redskin, it is a love-hate relationship. It's green and blue. He made a lot of money because we packed the house, but he hates the blue because he's a Redskin. But they treated us nice, you know. Rebecca, she kept the drinks and the food flowing and everything else. We had so many of you great fans there and stuff. Man, this is what it's all about. Just like last weekend with Cowboys experience. So I'm going to count my blessings. But here's what is so funny to me. As I get better with using the equipment and stuff, I've now learned out how to go ahead and program it so that way I can actually set it up, get my tags in and everything else, and you guys will see and get a notification that I'm going live. That is, if you clicked on the bell, at what time, so that way you guys can all be here, and I appreciate all that. But 30 minutes before the show, the comments for the Dak haters literally were strolling through. And they're just like those comments are strolling through now. It was 5 or 6 guys that were just spewing hate for Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. They talk about us being terrible. We're the worst team ever. We suck. We're going to be one and done in the playoffs. We need a real quarterback. Have you looked around the NFL this year or any year? Have you seen what happens to teams? The Pittsburgh Steelers, who had lost 3 games straight, they were talking about earlier in the year firing the coach, but they were about to start talking about firing Mike Tomlin again, but then they beat New England. New England, the consummate team that's in the Super Bowl. All of a sudden, you're talking about, is the dynasty done? The Rams. Everybody talked about the Rams. Oh my God, the Rams, they are the real deal, man. They signed all those great defensive players, man. They got the best defensive linemen in the world. They got Ndamukong Suh and everything else, and that defense doesn't bust a grape. And Jared Goff, you want to talk about bad quarterback play, take a look at Jared Goff's stats over the last 3 games. He's averaging below 50%, 50 QBR. He's had like 1 touchdown pass and I believe 7 interceptions and 4 fumbles. Teams have bad games. Take a look at New Orleans since we played them. Now, they won last week against Tampa Bay, one of the worst defenses out there, but they only scored 28 points. And when the stream started, the score was, let me see what the score is now, against Carolina, 7-6 against Carolina. Carolina, who was 6-2, and then proceeded to tank, they're now beating the Saints. So let me say, relax a little bit. Take a deep breath. We are in first place in the NFC East, okay? Our season could have been gone and done and over with some 5 weeks ago when we were 3-5. 3-5. We ran off 5 games straight. Do we have problems? Yes, we got problems. We got problems. We have things we need to work on. We need people who need to play. We need to get players back from injuries. We need some better coaching. Maybe we need somebody fired. But guess what? Every single team out there has the same issues. I'm going to go through and one of these days, I'm going to do well enough with this channel that I'm going to actually have a person who's going to run all this stuff. Maybe I can convince Michael and say, Michael, this is going to be a part-time job. I want you to do graphics for me, but I have to actually go through and do this stuff myself. But it's all good. I want you to think back to the great days. The second coming of the dynasty. Back in the 90s when we had Troy Aikman, who after his first couple of years got his legs underneath of him. And that young team became the best team for years to come. And had it not been for Jerry Jones's ego, we could have maybe won 4 Super Bowls in a row. Troy Aikman brought stability to our Dallas Cowboys. And beyond popular belief, believe it or not, he only had one season where he threw for more than 20 touchdown passes. That team was built as a running offense that used play action and had a great wide receiver on the outside, Michael Irvin, a great offensive line, and a lights-out defense, which is the same defense that we had back in the 70s and the same formula we had back with Roger Staubach. This team is close to being that. We are one of the youngest teams in the NFL that's going to have great games, and they're going to have games that they're going to be lost. But I want to look. I don't know if you guys can see this real well because I know I got to figure out how to change the screen colors. But I want you to understand, Troy Aikman retired in 2000 season. And since that time, these are the quarterbacks that we've had come through here. Randall Cunningham, Anthony Wright, Quincy Carter, Ryan Leaf, Clint Stoner, Chad Hutchinson, Quincy Carter, again, and Quincy Carter, Vinny Testaverde, Drew Henson, Drew Brees, and then finally Tony Romo, who brought stability to the team again. He missed a few games. We had Drew Henson. Drew Bledsoe had another appearance again in 2006. Brad Johnson came through, John Kitna, Stephen McGee, and then for the most part, Tony Romo. And of course, Kyle Orton, Brandon Wheaton, and then when Tony Romo got hurt, we had Matt Castle, Brandon Wheaton, and Kellen Moore. And during that time, the only time that we had success, other than right now, was really 2005, 2006, 2013, and 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009. Those 5 years didn't do great in the playoffs, didn't win Super Bowls, but that team every year was challenging for the playoffs. And that's because Tony Romo brought stability to it for a while. But then we had 2010, 6-10, 2011, 8-8, 2012, 8-8, 2013, 8-8. Great year after that. We're in the playoffs, 12-4. But for the most part, since since Troy Aikman retired, we had 5 good years together collectively there. And then we had a couple that, boom, 2014. Great year, 2016. But other than that, we've had some crap seasons. But Dak Prescott, and I know you guys say he sucks. He's not the guy. But, you know, when you start looking at the numbers right now, (13-3), 9-7, and we'll see where we end up here. Maybe 10-6, 9-7. That's 3 years of winning. We got Tampa Bay coming up this week. Tampa Bay has lost the last 12 on the road. Their defense stinks. They are a slump buster. You got to worry about everybody in the NFL. But that's a game that is going to be refocused. And I'll be honest with you, I fear for Tampa Bay because I think the Cowboys will come out like gangbusters. I think they're going to come out and kick some butt and get some. Because here's what you got to understand. 5 games, 5 emotional backs against the wall games. You go to Philadelphia, a place that we know what they did when Michael Irvin got a neck injury. We know about them throwing batteries. We know about them throwing snowballs at Santa Claus. How you going to throw snowballs at Santa Claus? That ain't right. That ain't right. And they're defending Super Bowl champs. And everybody said, of course, the Eagles are the better team. Cowboys got no chance. And we had just lost to the Titans. We're 3-5. But they go there, they win that game. Then they go to Atlanta. Oh, Atlanta Falcons, man, they're a Super Bowl favorite. You can't win in the Georgia Dome. And they go there, and they win that one. They beat the Washington Redskins, who at that time were actually playing pretty good. I know they had lost their quarterback, Alex Smith, but Alex Smith wasn't exactly lighting the place up. You win that one. And then you play what everybody said is the best team in football, and you punched them in the face. And then you turn around and you beat the Eagles in overtime. It was due for a letdown. And quite frankly, I've talked about this before, about us going undefeated and blowing through the regular season, because what happens to the Dallas Cowboys is whenever we are expected to do something, when there's not pressure on these guys, we fail. When we're the favorite, we fail. And make no mistake about it, the Colts are playing at home. The Colts are playing in a must-win situation. The Colts had their offensive line together, and they've been on a roll. The Colts have the advantage of having Everflies, I believe that's how we pronounce his name, our linebacker coach. A man who knows every single thing about the Dallas Cowboys offense and defense. You have Frank Wright, again, who's coached against the Dallas Cowboys. And that's where you go back to the Dallas Cowboys problem. The Cowboys' problem is they're predictable. Scott Linehan and this offense, as most people will say, is the most predictable offense in the NFL. And whenever you have coaches that coached here and you don't even change anything up, it's going to hurt. And the fact that we came out there, we moved the ball, and we had mistakes that killed us. And sometimes when things go wrong, it just goes downhill, and it's just like, pack it in. Pack it in, it's done. Now, John, DMV Dallas Cowboys, has an interesting theory. He was supposed to be on with me last night. I was waiting for him. And this is one of those reasons why you think, or I think, and everybody thinks that Scott Linehan should be fired. I think he's an egomaniac. He is power hungry. Because I believe he was trying to send a message to Amari Cooper to say, I'm the head, somebody in charge. And you're going to do what I say to do, or you won't play. We'll game plan without you. Very good point, Emmitt Smith. The Vikings fired their offensive coordinator and scored 41 points the next game. I wonder why. And see, that's where I would rather they just say either take the play calling away from Linehan or fire him. Without a doubt, we need a quarterback coach who can be a quarterback guru in Dak Prescott's ear. He's got raw skill. He's got it. He's got more wins than anybody in his draft class. As much as you guys want to say Carson Wentz, but Carson Wentz can't stay on the field. Carson Wentz has been injured every single year that he's played. First training camp. Last year with the knee. This year with the back and the knee. Jared Goff, his rookie year, stink. He did really great last year. He played good the beginning part of this year, but he's regressed, you can say, like they say about Dak Prescott. He's got more wins than all those guys. He's been to more playoff games than those guys. So you can hate on him. You can look at it and say that was Dak's fault, but Dak didn't have the field goal blocked. Dak didn't drop the pass that Alawali had in his hands that would have been a touchdown. Dak wasn't the one blocking the guys on fourth down when Zeke Elliott was running. Dak missed people too. He's part of the blame for that game. That game was a team loss. But we got another game to focus on. Doug Tyree. You know what? Some of you guys are literally brain dead. You listen to the talking heads and you believe everything that they say. Let me pull up the statistics real quick here. Okay. Let's see. Forgive me. Wasn't ready to do this. Let's see if this is the right one. Plays, raw QBR. No, wrong one. Hold on, guys. Wait a minute. QB stats. Because all I hear is dink and dunk. Okay. Okay. We talk about Dak Prescott as the worst quarterback in the NFL. These are NFL stats, okay? Right now, Dak is sitting at 16. And his average pass play is 7.3. 7.3, okay? Pat Mahomes leads at 8.8. Ben Roethlisberger, 7.7. Matt Ryan, 8. Jared Goff, 8.3. Tom Brady, 7.8. Aaron Rodgers, 7.4. Thomas Garrett, thank you for the super. Thomas Garrett, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. What I'm going to do, all the super chats that we've had for December, we ended up putting in here. So after the show, I'll end up putting those in here, and we'll do some more giveaways of the shirts. Yesterday's winner, I'm still waiting to find out. Robert Aitken. Email me at cowboysmark@gmail94. Got cowboysmark94@gmail.com, because you actually won yesterday's Travis Frederick one. So I appreciate that, Thomas. So when you start looking at these numbers, Eli Manning is the same as Dak, 7.3. You look at Kirk Cousins, believe it or not, is less than Dak Prescott, 7.2. You look at Andrew Luck, 7.1, which are less than Dak Prescott. And then when you go down to guys like Matthew Stafford, 6.9. So clearly, he is far from being just a dinking and dunking quarterback. Because you can go down here to guys like Joe Flacco, who some people say, if we sign Joe Flacco, we'll be in great shape. It's 6.5. And you can go on. You know, it just amazes me, because you guys, some of you guys are totally misinformed. Now, I get it. That was a butt ugly day. I mean, ugly. It was bad. But that happens sometimes. That happened against the Tennessee Titans. And what did we do? We wheeled off 5 straight. And now you're going to get the attention of the guys. You're going to get the focus back from these guys. And hopefully they'll come out like they did the last 5 weeks. Now, we got problems. We'll probably end up signing an offensive lineman sometime this week. I don't think Zach Martin is going to be ready to come back in this week with that knee. And I'm thinking that they're going to try to keep him out until the playoffs. Xavier Salafalo, I started to actually use, if you guys have ever seen Any Given Sunday, where the guy gets his eye poked out and it's laying on the field. I actually started to use that clip, but I said, you know what? That ain't nothing to joke about. Somehow, La'el Collins ended up hitting him in the eye. And they said his eye was purple. It was swollen up. They literally went to the hospital to get the thing checked out. He had blurred vision. But supposedly, when he got back to Dallas, he drove himself home, slowly. But more than likely, he may not be ready to go for this week. And more than anything else, well, there's a couple reasons. The offensive line has been in flux. We have not had a consistent offensive line playing week to week almost all season. You got Tyron Smith, who's been missed a couple games. You got Connor Williams, who missed a couple games and still is a rookie. You've got Travis Frederick gone. You got Zach Martin now, who's gone. What about the lot theory? Kenneth, what is the lot theory? Oh my God! But see, Raw, you know, before we were scared. Before we were scared to go for it on fourth down. Now it's just like every fourth down we were going for it yesterday. And the thing, this to me goes back to play calling. First of all, I think Scott Linehan sabotaged Amari Cooper last week because he wanted to say, you're not above me. You're not above the system. You don't go trying to get the quarterback to change the plays that I bring in. Because you noticed the body language of Amari Cooper on the sidelines. He was like a dog with his tail between his legs that had just been beat. Eric Freeman, thank you for the super chat. Mark, the sad thing is the Dallas Cowboys will not fire Linehan before the season's end. I believe that will cost us the playoffs if we make it there. Well, Eric, it's hard to disagree with that because that's where you look at situational football. I'll give you for my take, okay? You look at, say, New England with Tom Brady, who they're scared, of course, to get hurt. You know how many times Tom Brady will do a 4th and 1 sneak? Because here's the thing to me, and I know the people that were here before the chat that were saying that, oh, let's hope Mark's not going to try and teach us football. It's so funny how you guys want to cut on what I do, but yet you're here a half hour early to make sure that you talk about what I'm doing. Thou protest too much. But here's the thing. Every time we go 4 and 4th down, I know you got Zeke Elliott, best back in football and everything else. He's a beast, and you got the offensive line. But when you have a 4th and short, the advantage of knowing where the play is called is on you. If you do a quarterback sneak, the quarterback gets the ball and he immediately, once that ball is hiked, going forward, as well as the center hiking the ball, the guard firing off. Here's the problem. We never quarterback sneak it. We always, sometimes, like in the Redskin game, we do a draw. And what a draw is what you're trying to do is influence the pass rusher to think it's a pass play, to make the linebackers drop, the cornerbacks drop. But when it's short yardage, the guys on the line, their job is to penetrate, to get forward, up the field. So they're diving forward. So what happens is the offensive line, the line of scrimmage moves back. Now you got the running back with the quarterback going backwards, handing the ball up, and now he's got 5 yards to go where these guys are coming in here. And it's hard to make it. A lot of times they do, but you're fighting when you don't have to. When you go on a quarterback sneak, the defensive linemen are a step behind you. You are firing out. Your quarterback just falling forward is going to get at least a half a yard. And explain to me why, when Dak Prescott's best attribute is play action, when his other best attribute is being outside of the pocket on sweeps, play action, naked bootlegs, that we don't do it more than about 20% of the time. We still keep going 7-step drop back with a beat-up offensive line. You know how Andrew Luck beat us last night? You know how our defensive line didn't get to Andrew Luck last night? Do you? I don't think Scott Linehan understands it, but what they did was 3-step drop back. 3-step drop back. Because everybody's saying, oh, the defensive line is shut. No. They game planned against them. Luck gets the ball, 1, 2, 3, boom, the ball's out of here. They call plays, 7-step drop back. I love how, this is what I love. Here's the funny thing, because y'all gonna piss me off. You guys, you know me, who I am. I am man enough to be here and put my beliefs, my name, my word, and reputation on it. But you guys, you trolls, you asses, aren't even brave enough to put your real name or profile picture on there. It's real easy to sit behind a keyboard, unbeknownst to anybody else, and just go through and say, he sucks, he sucks, he sucks. So hypothetically, tell me who you'd rather have in here right now. Tell me who you'd like to have right now. Because I'm looking around, Aaron Rodgers. How's it working out for Green Bay this year with Aaron Rodgers? Just got that new contract. How are the Green Bay Packers doing with Aaron Rodgers right now? The Minnesota Vikings paid a king's ransom for Kirk Cousins, a guy who has never beat Dak Prescott. How's that working out for them? Wolf, are you banned? If you were banned, I wouldn't see that. The 49ers paid a king's ransom for Jimmy Garoppolo. How's that working out for him? Redskins paid a boatload of money for Alex Smith. How's that working out for him? Carson Wentz can't seem to stay on the field. Now we got back injury on top of knee injury. How's that working out for him this year? Ask Mark about Rod Smith. He's the host. Kenneth Locke asked Mark about Rod Smith. He's the host. What's the question on Rod Smith? Ossie Thompson, you're right. Let's get away from the trolls. But, okay. Unfortunately, hold on, wait. Unfortunately, that's the topic of the day, is the Cowboys, is it time to push the panic button? Well, if it's time to push the panic button for the Cowboys, then it's time to push the panic button for the Saints, as well as the Rams, and everybody else. I actually think that some of you guys are actually looking to try and get that, because you just come up with just straight up hate. Now, Jason Garrett, we know, is not going to go anywhere, but I think that Scott Linehan will. I think it's just too much. You have too many people that he's destroyed. Dak going to get $30 million a year. I don't know if he's going to get that or not. The one thing that, as much as you guys hate Dak, that he has said is, look, I understand about getting paid, and I want to have a team that wins. Well, Mano Gang, here's the thing. You may have lost that battle, but let's see if we can still win the war. You only need one game to make the playoffs, and once the playoffs start, anything can happen. Take a look. Take a look right now, Monday Night Football. I agree with you, Griffin. We need to fire Linehan. The Saints, since they played us, they don't look like the same team. Right now, Carolina is beating them 7-6. Remember when we were about to play the Saints and everybody was talking about that New Orleans Saints offense can't be stopped? That New Orleans Saints offense is going to score 4 or 5 touchdowns every game? There's 40 seconds to go in the first half, and they only have 2 field goals. Well, Kenneth Lott, you know what? Let's think about this for a second, okay? one thing we know right now, and here's where you got to look at this, okay? And I know a lot of people are just saying, don't pay him. Can't pay that guy. Understand this. Every year the salary cap goes up by about 10 million plus. It's looking like it's going to go up 15 million this year. The NFL is making more money hand over fist right now, and they are due. Mark my words. They are going to be making deals. Anton Myers, thank you for the super chat. Not good. Eagles won. We need that win yesterday. You know what, Antoine? I'm actually happy that they're going to have to fight to get to the playoffs. If we had won yesterday, the division, and then we still had 2 more games to go, and they got nothing to play for because the Bears won, I don't know that I want them to just kind of take it easy for the next 2 weeks. I'd rather them have to play to get in this week and kill Tampa Bay. And then hopefully they can rest people against the Giants and get ready to play in the playoffs the following week. We're good. We're okay. It's nothing that doesn't happen in the NFL. Right now, they'll be working guys out tomorrow, so I don't know who they're trying to bring in. Unfortunately, this time of year, there's not a lot of people to bring in. There really just isn't. I mean, if there's anybody good, they're going to be out there. I think Chaz Green is still available. And Cam just threw an interception in the end zone. I feel you, but Tampa Bay is going to give us a fight. They may, but we've been better at home than on the road. And for whatever reason, we just sucked against the AFC South. We were 1-3. Brian Nelson, are you a fan or troll? Then you need to move on. Well, it's a free country. Philly fanatic. Anyone would love to win the division. Philly, here's my logic. Okay? Again, this is my opinion. It doesn't mean that it's right or wrong, but it's my opinion. Because I look at every single time the Dallas Cowboys has locked up things early. 2016, we locked it up. We sat back, enjoyed ourselves, watching the Giants and the Green Bay Packers beat the crap out of each other. Okay? We played a game against you guys that we didn't give a rat's ass about, so we rested that week, then we rested the bye week, and then we looked at the Green Bay Packers and said, damn, Aaron Rodgers is banged up, Jordy Nelson left his spleen on the field, their offensive line is in bad shape, we got this. And they come in and kick our ass. In 2014, boom, same thing. We get 1 win against the Lions, and then we lose to the frickin' Green Bay Packers. In 2009, same thing. Tony Romo, Jason Witten, they go to Mexico during the bye week. We lose focus. This team, when they come off a bye week, you know what we do? We lose. So in my mind, get hungry. Get your back against the wall and fight for your life. And keep it going throughout the season. If it was my team, if I was the coach, that's what I'd be doing. Well, I think they'll get together against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has got a good offense. They move the ball around a lot. Antoine Myers with the super chat. Thank you very much. Force Colin to play guard and put Fleming at right tackle. That's a possibility. They may end up having to do that. Texans should beat the Eagles. Rams are ass. Well, right now, that's the thing you got to look at. As much as you guys are pounding our Cowboys right now, the Rams, they've peaked. The Rams are 3-3 out of the last 6 games. 3-3. Right now, you're looking at the Saints. They're only scoring 6 points right now against Carolina. Have they peaked? All of a sudden, you start looking at the okay. If those two teams have come back down to earth, who in the NFC scares you right now? Tell me. Who? Right now, you got to look. First we were looking at saying 10-6 might not get you in the playoffs beginning of the season. Beginning of the season, they said, "Oh my God, the NFC. You got the defending Super Bowl champion, the Eagles, best team in football." They said you got the Minnesota Vikings that now have Kirk Cousins. My God, they're a Super Bowl favorite. The New Orleans Saints. Oh my God, they're going to be incredible. They said the Rams. That defense they got, man, they got the best defense. They're going to be blowing people away. Well, okay. So those are the teams that they said, oh, and don't forget about, they said Atlanta, with Matty Ice and, of course, that wide receiver crew, that they're going to be great. Can't forget about Cam Newton and, of course, the Panthers. Man, the NFC East, it's going to be a boomer year. Right now, for the totality of the season, you have to say, of course, because they've got the best record, but the Saints and the Rams have the best record, but I don't know that the NFC South is that good. Darno Salas with the super chat. Thank you very much. We need to play to Dak's strength. Oh, Darno, I hope I pronounced your name right. You ain't lying on that, brother. You ain't lying. Nick Foles versus Dak Prescott. Well, here's the thing. The Eagles played better with Nick Foles than he did with Carson Wentz last night. This message ought to be help review hidden by. Okay. Didn't see what that message was, but okay. Bears are right. The Bears right now, you got to look at maybe as the best team. At least they're playing the best. Dak's going to be the first, going to make history for being the first black quarterback to win the Super Bowl for the Dallas Cowboys. Mark my word. That would be interesting to see that happen. Victor, listen. You guys know everything about me. It was actually interesting because I had this conversation with Katie, and we're going to get to Katie in a bit. A new Dallas Cowboy fan that you guys better subscribe to her, but be nice. Definitely, we got to educate her on football and being a Dallas Cowboy fan. I'm dyslexic. And I used to be really, really shy and couldn't speak in public. I am very photogenic as far as memory. If I see it, it's stuck in here. I'm great with numbers and things like that. But reading names, I suck at it. That's why I call myself the name butcher. So you can't do everything great. You have some things you can do really, really well. Other things you just suck at. I just suck at reading names. So forgive me. The Cowboy Suite. I have gas and I'd like to apologize ahead of time. Thanks. Well, thanks for the warning. Cooper knows the play calling sucks. Who doesn't know that the play calling sucks? Who doesn't know that? Everybody and their sister knows that. I mean, come on, man. We can sit there in the bar and say, here's what you should run there. And they'll run something that doesn't work. And that's the thing I just don't understand with Jerry. Katie, who just became a football fan less than a week ago in England. She watched some of the highlights of the game. She watched a couple of shows. And her first question to me was about coaching. What's going on with your coaching? I hear they're not very good. And I'm like, damn, you got it down pat already. No, Well, see, Victor, here's the thing. I don't. You can't call her a bandwagon fan because, to me, a bandwagon fan is somebody who jumps on when the times are good, like from another team. I remember back in the 90s where you had people who had a 49er jacket, a Giant jacket, and a Redskin jacket all in their closet because they were going to whichever team. My first wife was a bandwagon fan. She would literally change teams at halftime by who is winning. A bandwagon fan is that fan that's only around when the team wins. She is brand new to football, and she picked a team. Basically because my channel popped up in her feed and she said, oh, let me check out football. And had never been exposed to it. So, and especially on a week that we lose, I don't know that that's bandwagoning. Mike McCarthy, nah. I don't know about Mike McCarthy. Nah. Katie is really cool. We'll get to Katie in a bit. I've actually really enjoyed actually doing a video with her, and probably will do some more. Maybe make that like a regular segment and stuff. Yeah, I think Katie will definitely be a fan for a long time of the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, I don't think you'll see her jump to the Redskins or the Eagles or anything like that. But it's actually fun bringing people, because that's what this thing's really all about, is having fun and meeting people and getting past some of the bad things that are going on in the world. Well, Keith Lott, you know, that's one of those things that a lot of times, I've said this before, when you watch Dak play in the no huddle, he looks so much more comfortable than when we have the plays called from upstairs. Sometimes you look and the body language is, I can't believe we're going to run this garbage ass play and I'm going to get the shit kicked out of me. Excuse my language again. That's what you kind of look at sometimes when the stuff is called. But when he gets out there in no huddle and he's like calling it, that team clicks. It clicks. And I'm telling you, he does not have confidence in what's going on. Well, way to go, Cowboy fan. I appreciate that. Actually, you know what? What would be really, really cool? You know, England is like 5 hours time difference from here. In fact, she's working on a video. She didn't finish editing it yet, but she's actually going to do her first video about football. So she'll probably have it out tomorrow. It would be great if she woke up in the morning and she went from, you know, she had 265 when we started, if we could get her to 500 subscribers. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about with Katie, she is actually really, really good people. And it's called Katie Calls It. What's up, big pimpin' with the white? I'm not pimping the white chick. I'm just thinking that she's actually a cool person, and I think it's interesting to have a person discover football for the first time. And one thing I've done, if you're saying I'm pimping her, well, I've helped pimp a lot of people then, from E2 Blue to DMV Dallas Cowboys to, God, what is his name? Space Cowboy 17. I bring a lot of people on because my motto is spreading the mojo. And what that means is, if you can do something good for somebody else, you do it. You try and make the world a better place, okay? Your job should be, I'll grab that. Your job should be, if you make it to the top of the mountain, you should be helping the next person get up the mountain. And that's the way I live my life. And everybody who knows me knows I'll do anything I can to help somebody else out. As long as it's not taking away from, you know, my family or my wife or things like that, I will do stuff to help you. And any of you guys that are new YouTubers that are not crazy and stuff like that, I'm more than happy to bring you guys on and promote you guys as well. So I find her very intriguing, and also I realized this is actually her channel, so you guys can click on that and subscribe to it, and see if we can get her channel numbers up there. But I also realized too what you guys like. You guys like pretty women, okay? So let's be honest, okay? But she's super nice. Go ahead and spread. David Alexander with the super chat. Thank you very much. You go ahead and spread the mojo, Mark. Hats off to you, bro. Yeah, man. But that's what it's all about. That's what, unfortunately, this country used to be about. Dallas gonna go 8-8? Nah, buddy. Nah. Did I miss another super chat in there? I got David Alexander's. Did I miss another one? When I was pulling up the leak for Katie, I'm sorry. If I missed somebody's super chat other than David Alexander, I'll go back through at the end of the show, and then I'll pull them up and make sure that I enter all you guys in the next drawing, and we'll do a drawing on Friday. Let me make sure. I don't think I missed. I don't see another one in there. We're going 10-6. I'm going to say 9-7 because I think what will happen is we'll win next week, and then Pitiful Kennel, you honestly don't see Dak getting any better? Have you looked at his numbers? Do you remember the first 3 games of the season where we had like 170 and 160 yard passing games? And you didn't see the 455 last week? And even the game yesterday, which was 200 and some yards, is still better than what we did the first game against Carolina. There's a whole lot less interceptions in there as well. Robert Apakin, thank you very much for the super chat. Cowboys need a loss. That's what I'm saying. My God. You guys would think that this was literally the end of the world, that we lost the game. Did you guys really expect us to go 16-0? Is that what you guys thought? Because that wasn't going to happen. Well, Cam, when we were 3-5 and somebody said we could go 9-7, most of them would have said we were on crack at that time. Put at before the name so he can see your question easily. There you go. Okay. Dak wasn't okay. Derek Carr has better stats, but what's that team doing? What's that team doing? And Derek Carr, hold it. Okay. See, this is where this is funny to me, because Derek Carr had Amari Cooper and had all of 280 yards in 6 games and 1 TD. Dak doesn't have him for an offseason, doesn't have him for training camp. Dak didn't work with him for 3 years. Dak worked with him for 6 weeks. And going into that game, they were the #1 quarterback and wide receiver combination. So tell me, why is it Derek Carr couldn't have done something like that with Amari Cooper? And I know one thing, I've never seen Dak on the field crying. So if that's your argument that he's got better statistics, oh yeah, well Kirk Cousins got better statistics too. But guess what? Kirk Cousins has lost 4 times to Dak Prescott. Adrian Lizzie with a super chat. Thank you very much. Oops. Adrian Lizzie with a super chat. You take out the 3 TDs, 4 quarters against Philly last week, the numbers isn't great. 1 TD, 4 picks in the last 3 or something like that. Yeah, but you know what? Team wins. He gets it together in the 4th quarter. And when it's clutch time, I'm okay with that. David Alexander with the super chat. Thank you very much. offensive coordinator needs to go is Adrian. You're 100% right on that one. We do need a new new offensive coordinator. I at this point wish they had fired him this morning. I really wish it. I don't know what it's going to take, and I'm hoping it will be this offseason, but we just don't know. Here's where I feel good, at least, that the Cowboys, at least the players, owned up to that. That you saw Zeke Elliott basically say, we were an embarrassment, man. We sucked. We cannot do that. You saw the same thing with Dak Prescott. Look, man, we screwed up. We got to refocus. We come out there like that, we're going to get beat. So what I think you're going to see when they get back on the field Wednesday, that these guys are going to wake up and they're going to be like, okay, we can't have this crap no more, man. We got to come out here like gangbusters. So I'm feeling good about that from the standpoint of getting refocused. Drew question. Okay. Why are we even talking about a contract right now? Can we finish playing this season? Contract doesn't have to be signed tomorrow. Doesn't even have to be signed next year. How about we worry about Tampa Bay? And that's the thing that bugs me so much, is how everybody is so focused on what Dak Prescott. Is anybody focused on what Jared Goff might get? Because he's in the same boat. How about Carson Wentz? Anybody bothered about those guys, what they're going to get paid? Because I don't hear anybody talking about that. Why is it we are so fixated on what is going to be Dak Prescott's salary? A guy who has gotten chicken feed for 3 years and taken all of your abuse. Dude hasn't made $1 million a year yet. You would act like, the way you guys act, like it's your money coming out your pocket. Stop running from the question. What question? What question you got for me there? Great point, Jared Goff. Jared Goff, 1 TD, 7 picks in the last 4 weeks. And add to that 4 fumbles as well. What are my predictions for this week's game? Pain.
Hey, Kurt, are you watching the best of Geico?
I'm the one who's obsessed with Dak. Okay, well, if you don't, here's a real good one. I hate to end this on an angry note, but here's the thing. We are in America. In America, at the moment at least, we have the freedom to choose. We have the freedom of speech. So I am free to say what I want as long as I don't use copyrighted NFL material or copyrighted songs. I am free to say what I believe in as long as I don't call fire in a theater. And you guys, as Americans, have the right to watch whatever YouTube channels you want. And if you don't like my support of my quarterback and my team, that's good. I'm okay with that. There are plenty of Dak hating ones out there that you can join. And with that being said, I am going to finish this show off on a better note. All of you people, not the trolls, don't do it, trolls. Don't want you, don't need you. And by the way, Carolina is still up 7-6. Okay? 7-6, Carolina into the third quarter. The Saints only have 6 freaking points. If we used the same scenario that you guys use with Dak Prescott, a lot of guys would not be here right now, like Jared Goff. Cruise Low, thank you for the super chat. But what I want you guys to do me a favor, okay? We have a new YouTuber out there, a new Dallas Cowboy fan. I want you guys to go to Katie Calls It and subscribe to her channel. Check her out. Be kind. Come on, don't do her like you guys do. Don't do, please. Because I know how you thirsty brothers are.
Yeah, I just came across your
she's good
channel. It came up in my
Okay.
recommendations on YouTube.
But Katie calls it
And
great,
I saw one of
great
your
new fans of
videos,
Dallas
and
Cowboys.
I just love
So
the energy
check her out,
on the channel.
like her page,
And I just
and
wanted to
I
know
will see
more.
you guys. Wow. Okay. So I popped up on an English person's channel. Do you watch sports very much?
I don't actually. No, I did try to get into the football over here, but I just found it so slow going.
Okay, so you watched some of our live stream yesterday, and I know some of you guys already
Yeah.
have had some conversations via comments and stuff, because immediately they see a pretty face on a profile picture, and you know how you guys kind of just like flies to poop, start swarming. But you decided you want to become a Dallas Cowboy fan, America's
Yeah.
team, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So you watched some films yesterday, you watched our live stream. What was your first take about football? Your first thoughts?
Well, do you know what? I had never seen it before, and I was completely shocked. You know, you've got these massive men running around, bashing into each other. It just is so completely full of energy, and not at all like what we have over here, you know. The men that play football over here, they've just got to take a small nudge, and they're rolling around in agony and often get sent off on a stretcher. It's a bit embarrassing to watch.
Be careful now, because that is your national sport there. You don't want to have, you don't want to get deported or anything out of England
not
now,
cool.
kind of talking about the Queen's sport there. So you like the roughness of football and knocking people around and things.
It's amazing, you know. I've spent hours trying to get into English football. It took me all of 10 seconds to realise this sport is something that I definitely want to find out more about. And yeah, it was addictive from the word go.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, I got to tell you, you did not see the best of the Dallas Cowboys, of course, yesterday. So we basically played terrible. If you had seen last week's game, you would have seen a really, really exciting game, because it literally went down to the wire and actually went into Alexander. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, real. Oh my God, yesterday. I was actually in Dallas yesterday for that game. We were actually down on the field pregame and stuff, and you seeing the players on TV versus when you actually see them in real life. You know, you're talking about guys like, say, David Irving is 6'8", and about 290 pounds. You know, you're talking about some of these guys that are humongous, but they are literally like a guided missile. So how much do you understand about football so far, besides it's a bunch of people running?
I really have no idea.
Okay.
I'm hoping you're going to educate me.
Okay, so, this is our football. Okay.
That's not a ball. Why do you call it a football? It's not shaped like a ball.
Well, it's... well...
And you don't blow them up, but how are they... is it not inflated?
It is inflated. Look, there's the hole right there. There's the hole to inflate it.
It looks a bit squishy to me.
Well, this one needs some more air in it, but actually when it's filled up, it's actually pretty hard.
Okay.
They make it this way so that way it throws better. It gets the spin on it and stuff, and you catch it. But true, I never thought about it not being a ball. Okay, but what you have is you have offense. Okay, that's the guys that have the